First of all, welcome everyone. My chance to say welcome. We're very pleased to have you here. I can honestly say that it's been a great year, a lot learned, great interactions with my colleagues, so I'm happy to be here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this thing going. It started in a park, preserving the cultural identity of basketball courts. So the first thing I want to make sure is that you know why this is important to me. Yes, I'm a designer. Yes, it's an important issue. It's innovative, it's sexy. But this is important to me because I want to preserve and celebrate the experiences of the landscape that I had as a kid. So when I started this project, it was really just about basketball courts in my neighborhood. I wanted to draw parallels between the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, as the hip-hop culture developed in New York, and talk about what was happening in my own city, up the street from here at the same time. We used to sit outside and watch basketball. We had loud music and loud talk. We would all participate in the spectacle, cheering every time there was a dunk or a crossover. We had new nets, fresh painted courts, and colorful flags. There would be an MC with a microphone hyping everybody up, and sometimes there was even a marching band or performer. So starting from that point, I wanted to be able to this is one of my local parks. This is Druid Hill Park, which is one of the Olmsted parks, one of the largest parks in Baltimore. Very well designed park, and we're going through a lot of updates and changes right now.
Are you ready? Okay, we here at the Druid Hill basketball court, and it's just a lot of love in the air right now. You know, everybody playing basketball. Basketball for black people is a really important thing in their life. It helped a lot of black kids get out of the community that they was in. It helped them success to go to greater colleges and become better things. You know, everybody don't have financial. It's an enduring thing for everybody. It makes friendships, it builds a community, it brings people together. A basketball court is important. It is. It's very important. Oh!
Your vibes like you in fuck, man. Everybody you. I used to be out here, have fun.
Is it safe for the kids?
Definitely safe for the kids. To bring together. Bring everybody together, everybody shoot, laugh, shoot. I love.
So as I started digging into the research, one of the things that I realized is that this experience, this culture goes way back before the 1970s. And so I had to start examining this culture, this intertwining of sports, music, fashion, art, going back across the 20th century urban spaces. So playground basketball reflects African-American performative spaces, performative communal spaces across time and space. So what you saw on TV, or the news, or movies, or maybe even saw in person, don't tell the whole story. You've heard of slavery, you've heard of the Middle Passage, you've heard of owned bodies and lost cultures, but you need to know about transmitted cultures, transmitted traditions, traditions that black people have been able to keep and bring along with us. Agricultural skill, cuisine, and even some spirituality came along. But I need you to know about how we move, how we get together in public, and how we act in public. I want to make sure that you know that the call and response the synchronization, the improvisation are all more than just what we may know in the present era. So, did you think that breakdancing started in the 1970s? It didn't. It's a part of a much earlier cultural experience. So the movement that became breakdancing are not American nor urban. They are of the African and they're of the village. The rhythm, the style, the collective celebration, the occupation of a performative space. So all of these were expressed across multiple eras. And it's a reflection of a broader culture that entails that sport, music, dance, and performance that transcends any of these specific areas. So all of these things stuck deep in my ancestors' guts and made it over oceans and through plantations. It came all the way to the cities in the Northwest, the Northeast, the Midwest. They sang call and responses, they clapped hands, and they swayed to the rhythm to any beat you gave them. From LA to New York, to Chicago, to DC, and everywhere else. This rhythmic movement, this sense of style and expression of joy took root, and black music and the sport of basketball co-evolved from this fertile ground. So basketball was introduced in the black community as they again moved into these cities in the early 1900s. During the Great Migration, as these communities continued to grow, it became a very important sport. It had already been an important sport in the city, in the urban areas, and particularly in the Jewish community. But leading into the 1950s and 1960s, it took on a different level. In that first decade of the 20th century, when that basketball was introduced and that jazz took shape, the jazz brought with it the music and the dance. The basketball brought with it athleticism and competition, and they blended together in the same space. So following that precedent set by the Jewish community, who had a deep connection, as I said, to the sport, it was common to have games in the gymnasium followed by dances. As I said, it never went away. That skipped to my Lou. These are the AND1 mixtapes, Boy's Bad. He's one of the main street ballers that actually made it into the NBA. So just as the players jump for joy in sport, the dancers jump for joy in the swing dances with style, synchronized and improvised movement, and the two never divorce. In the 1950s, something important happened. It was the first time that black players were allowed on the national stage in major sports. Jackie Robinson in baseball and Earl Lloyd became the first black NBA player. Black artists had been making steady progress, and as the civil rights movement took shape, both influenced and furthered the fight for equality and self-determination. Bill Russell, Jim Brown, they spoke up just like Kaepernick and LeBron did in our era. But the 1970s were different. The cities had burned, the drugs moved in, the people left, and what remained was a dystopian environment that even President Nixon declared war on. But a DJ named Kool Herc and his sister threw a party and helped start a cultural revolution. And wouldn't you know it, the court was right there with them. Park jams were where DJs would bring out their speakers and have parties and dances right there on the basketball court, right back together again. Puma gave Walt Frazier the first crossover signature sports shoe. Who's got a pair of Jordans at home? I don't. I don't have my Jordans. So all of that style, the sounds, the fashion, took hold in those performative spaces and evolved. It's a great video. I was happy I found this one. Yeah. I should have asked if y'all can name all of these rappers and groups. So what I got to experience as a kid made the court, the playground, and the park important and central in a whole new way. And as Dr. Austin Allen exposed in his documentary, Claiming Open Space, these places aren't just recreation. They are our heart, our soul. And we need to have everyone be able to see this so that it matters. We should have spaces that embrace and don't exclude our culture, and I want everybody to be able to participate without losing the spirit and the practice of our culture. I want you to see why it's important and why we all need to help make that happen. We have to make this really matter in the types of places I grew up, and no matter in the places removed from the Black community. We need to make it matter where people are scared and uninformed. We need to make it matter in the places that are changing and the places that are yet to be planned, designed, and yet to be built. This evening, I hope I provided the key so you can open the door by showing you something about my culture that you may not know. I want the end result to be the design of quality spaces, and I hope this helps you do it. Thank you.